Well, hi, beach friends. Here we're taking a look at Elsa. I was watching that radar. I had been up since before 5 o'clock in the morning because I really wanted to get out there. I was quite excited. But that rain and that lightning, see all that white? That's lightning. So that was kind of keeping me from getting out there. And so I waited and I waited and I just kept watching the radar. And after a couple of hours went by, I just couldn't take it anymore. I figured I'll just wait in my car if I had to. So I left the house and I made my way over to Sanibel and Captiva. And I'm going to show you all the stuff I found. All right, let's talk conditions. It really wasn't that windy. Lots and lots of rain. So the Gulf was churning, it was pretty angry, and there was ground flooding. A lot of these areas that typically you don't see water, there was water there. So as I headed over to Turner Beach, those were the conditions. Nothing down, no branches or anything really. And here we are at Turner. And everybody is here. Everybody is here. So I'm happy for them, yay, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of walk away from the people and see if I can find my own shell pile to go through. So there are some shells here, a little bit of the common stuff. Here we have some pen shells, which I'm not surprised. Typically after a storm, you will see something like these guys washed up. So I checked out a couple of those pen shells, lots of the common stuff. And so I decided to just keep walking away from the entrance because there's only two entrances to Captiva. You got this one, which is Turner, and then the Allison Hanger Up, which is much more north. So I was kind of hoping, get away from the people, see if I can find my own little shell pile. The Gulf is angry. There will be no shelling in the water today for me, for sure. Well, a little. I do some scooping. But we're going to stick to the beach first. I see this piece of flat. A flat scallop, it's only a piece, but I'm thinking it's a good omen. Maybe there's other goodies to be found. And a lot of this stuff was kind of like buried in the sand. Here we have a lettered olive. Not the most spectacular specimen I've ever found. And of course your arcs. Here we have a lady in waiting Venus clam, complete with a drill hole. Somebody snacked on that guy. And a spiny jewel box. I'd like to check out the spine factor. Okay, he's kind of spiny. I'm going to keep him. What do we got here? A turkey. Ooh, dear. Well, it is a turkey wing, but I'm not going to keep that one. So I keep going, and this is what I'm looking for. A nice empty beach. The only problem is it's also devoid of any shells. There's nothing here. I figured, all right, I'm going to keep walking. What do we got? All right. Little scallop that was kind of poking out, one of those sunray. Yeah, tap some of that sand off. And guys, there's really not a lot here. This is not what I was expecting. Here's a piece of a broken Florida fighting conch. A piece of a broken lightning whelk. Yeah, not much here. So I kept looking. You know me. I keep on walking, keep on trying. Found this nice size scallop, this calico scallop, but there really wasn't much here. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna walk back to the entrance, but I'm gonna cross over and I'm gonna go over to Blind Pass, which is just a little bridge across from Turner Beach. So this is what it looks like. So that's where I was, and I'm gonna cross over the bridge now and then go over to Blind Pass. Now, some of the reason that the place where I was might have been really crowded was because the parking lot to Blind Pass was flooded and you couldn't park there. So that might have explained a little bit. And out there you see a surfer. Yeah, people, I guess surfers get pretty excited for this kind of weather. And I do too, except I was really kind of looking for some big old shell piles. So these are the little piles when we first came onto the beach where all those people were. I figured we'll take a peek, see what's here. All right, a little lightning whelk. Okay. Lots of shells, lots, but they're all the common stuff. The arcs, the kitten paws. And people had really kind of picked over this stuff. Oh, but somebody missed this. Little apple murex. I think it's broken. It doesn't look right. It's probably missing a piece, but I'm going to keep it anyway. Oh, and this, man, this was a good sign. That I believe is a piece of a queen helmet, and that we never find stuff like that over here. That's much more kind of a Caribbean type of shell. But I thought maybe, I don't know, maybe that means there's something good here. So yeah, the people were out in force. Good for them. They're out shelling, and I'm going to go over that away. Not as many people over there, and see what I could find. So there is a little bit of, well, there's a bridge that goes from Captiva to Sanibel, and I'm on the bridge right now, and that Gulf is mad. The storm literally just blew through. And I'm up on the bridge, and I'm looking down, trying to check out the shell conditions. Is there anything in the surf there? Trying to check it out. So I figure, okay, I'm definitely going to head over there, see what I can find. There's the flooded parking lot. Nobody was able to park over here at the Blind Pass parking lot, so it was a really big demand to get parking over at Turner. I was lucky. I kind of pulled up and got a spot, but everybody else, it was a little rough. So here I am. I'm at Blind Pass at this point, and again, there's some shell piles, but it's still kind of the, the common stuff. There's a Distocenia. There's a piece of a pen, the arcs. Okay, a jingle. Again, relatively common. A broken channeled duck clam. And we also have, all right, an Atlantic giant cockle. So there's shells here, but not what I expected. I really expected, piles of the great stuff. Oh, here's a yellow prickly cockle. It's kind of fun. And calico scallop. I'll just leave that. There's another giant Atlantic cockle. Those are actually kind of pretty. It's kind of a fun big old shell. So I knew I was having fun because I had foams. What is foams? Well, foams is the fear of missing shells. So I was afraid that there were shells in the water there somewhere, and I really kind of wanted to find something today. So I got my scoop out, and I got this, all right. Kind of good to see a gastropod. There's a banded tulip. Or is that a true tulip? It's one of the two. Hard to tell when it's all beat up. Here's a prickly cockle, complete with some prickly stuff on there. There's another calico scallop with those rays, but they're white. Ooh, okay, a little Florida fighting conch. A little piece of shell jammed in there. Okay, starting to find something a little different. And someone gifted this to me. They asked me if I wanted this piece of coral. And it's actually a giant piece of lightning whelk that is old and looks like a boring sponge got a hold of it, and some barnacles. And I kind of thought it was cool. So I thought that was nice, and I held on to that. There we have a seraph and another little, with a drill hole, a Florida fighting conch. Another, all right, juvenile Florida fighting conch. Even on a day like today, I was pretty excited to see something like that. All right. Oh, a lightning whelk. A rather beat up, broken lightning whelk. Womp womp. Okay, another lightning whelk and a piece of coral. Kind of cool. The coral's kind of fun. That's a real piece of coral, unlike that other piece, which really was just a shell. All right, after scooping, looks like I found a seraph, a little apple murex, a calico clam, and a chestnut turban. Lovely chestnut turban. It is broken, but it looks fantastic from that side, and I'm definitely going to keep it. All right, got two more of those calico scallops on the bottom there, and a really funny looking kitten's paw. Had, I don't know, way more of those little ridges than they normally do. Another chestnut turban on the top left there, an olive, and a broken button snail. All right, starting to see some different stuff. And again, I'm scooping in the water. That's what I was afraid that's all the goodies were going to be. Cool chestnut turban. They're neat. I love that beaded exterior. Beautiful little shell. And this was just weird. It's another kitten's paw, but it's super dark color, almost like those thorny oysters we saw. Oh, another chestnut turban. Again, beautiful beaded, real pretty color on that one. Nice pattern. And this, I was shocked. Colorful moon snail. Again, I was in the water scooping, so I managed to get that. Very cool. Not the best specimen, but still super happy. And a disc Dosinia, a hinged one, complete with a drill hole. Somebody snacked on that little clam. A yellow prickly cockle. He's not in the best shape. But I don't find him that often. Typically I'll keep him, but that guy we're going to leave behind. What do we got? Another piece of flat. That looks like it might be a round rib flat, but that's really just a tiny piece. I'm not going to keep that one this time. Ooh, okay. Now that's a very yellow prickly cockle. So I'm going to keep that guy. Don't find those often. Love seeing yellow on the beach. Almost as much as orange. All right, there is another tulip. I'm going to go with true tulip on that, even though it's hard to tell. Oh, another chestnut turban. Okay. So the scoop is definitely working out way better than kind of cruising the beach for me. What do we got? Oh dear. A Florida fighting conch with a big old hole. All right, that's no hole in this one. That is another juvenile Florida fighting conch. A little jingle there. What else? Oh, and a turkey wing. All right, cool. It's not in terrible shape. Right on. And an apple murex. Now that needs a little bit of bleach, but that should clean up. Yay! I'm happy to be finding anything at this point. Okay, cool. Moon snail, and I think that looks blue on the inside, like one of those Paul Newman moon snails. It's got a drill hole, but they usually do. All right, another juvenile Florida fighting conch, a little discolored. And another calico scallop. That's fun pattern. Okay, here we go. Got ourselves a nice size, nice color lightning whelk. I'll get that other little shell out of there. Finally, yay. All right, and on the bottom, that's actually a lace murex, a very beat up lace murex. We have two serifs, and then a rough scallop on the left and a calico scallop on the right. So digging is definitely being more fruitful. Oh, yay. There's another chestnut turban. Look how spiky that jewel box is. Awesome. And then we got a Florida fighting, a lightning whelk is in there too. Here's another look at that chestnut turban. Very cool. It's little, it's pretty, it's in one piece. I'm happy. Okay. That is a buttercup lucine that almost has no color to it. There's another lightning whelk. It's an okay size. That's not the best one I've ever found, but for today it's fantastic. There's another Florida fighting conch. It's kind of missing knobs on that one side. And a juvenile, not quite an adult one quite yet. And then this squishy critter, this I believe is a beat up ragged sea hare. Poor critter. With the water being as churning and angry as it was, I'm not really surprised these poor little guys were all over the place. So put him back in the water. And when I say that I was in the water, I was just standing on the edge, reaching in and scooping. I was not about to, go in the water. It didn't look safe, and I didn't want to get my butt kicked. So I just kind of played it safe and was scooping along the water's edge there. And then here on the left, these guys really had to prepare for the storm. They have some sandbags there. Not a position I would want to be in. And let's have a little windy beach time. All right, looks like I scored another one of those giant Atlantic cockles. It's kind of off-colored. It's kind of different. Kind of neat. All right, I did some more scooping. Got myself a little lightning whelk. Happy to see you, friend, especially on a day like today. So, all in all, I was feeling pretty lucky because there was no damage, there was no flooding, nothing really bad happened here. I didn't get a hotel room. Some people actually got hotel rooms and came down here to do shelling after the storm. And I managed to get a couple of goodies. So I'm feeling grateful. Looks like the parking lot is starting to dry out a little bit. But it was not what I was expecting. And as we're leaving the beach, we're just going to take a peek at that osprey. He has himself his breakfast. Good job, buddy. So this is what I found. It was, like I said, not what I expected. We got a couple of those a couple murex, one of those lace murex, some serifs, a couple scallops, and then we got that piece of shell that someone gifted me, which was cool, a little piece of coral. The cockles, the giant prickly cockles, the yellow cockles, a couple of lightning whelks, two of those little calico clams, a distocenia, and probably the stars of the show today are going to be those chestnut turbans, the gaudy, the colorful moon snail, as well as the regular shark eye. So to answer your question, that's what Elsa left. It wasn't a whole heck of a lot. But again, I'm feeling happy. Thank you guys for coming along with me. Thank you, Patreons. I know you guys were all very anxious to see what the storm brought up. And across the board, I kind of got the feeling that people were disappointed. It just wasn't what we thought it was going to be. We need a good northwest wind. The wind was really coming from the south. So it wasn't the giant shell piles I was expecting, but it is what it is. I'm grateful everyone's okay. Only a little bit of flooding. Next week, we're heading to Boca Grande, a very cool place. We're going to talk about a couple lighthouses. I'll do some snorkeling, and I'll see you then.